Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Learn and Move from Pro section. In today's game, we'll be looking at the 16th Changchi Cup's 8th final between two Chinese professional players. The one with the black stones is Fan Yin, and the one with the white stones is Ke Jie. So I'm not going to talk about Ke Jie because he's just a frequent visitor in my video. So about Fan Yin, the player with the black stones, he is definitely one of the very young and very strong professionals. He has beaten Ke Jie in the most recent game they have played, so he's a very strong player. So let's look at what happened in the game. Fan Yin starts with black, and we have a very normal opening. Black decides with a low approach, approved by AI. White kicks, very interesting, and I encourage you to play like this in your game as well. It's very simple, it's very clear. White guards a solid corner. Why not? And we have a very standard opening. So just as a side note, when you count your points, in the corner, white has 11 points, right? So I'm just telling you here, so you don't need to count in your game. It's a very conservative, approved count by professionals as well. So white's corner has 11 points. Interesting knowledge. White approaches. Black makes a solid defense. And white approach from the other side. Very fast development by Ke Jie, right? We just approach and with Tanuki, we approach on the other side. Black kicks. Very nice. Ke Jie has made a kick, and Fan Yin decides to basically imitate, which is a really nice move. The kick, I guess in the old days, people would criticize this kick because they call it a vulgar move. Really hard to explain what it means. You kind of need to play more games to have a feeling, especially when you get to like a 3-4 dan level, you start to appreciate the idea of a vulgar move. But brief, this is just a good move to play. That is to kick your opponent. Not in the old days, but now it's AI approved, so no one can really criticize this move at all. White, of course, has to extend. And black is gonna jump. And now white just plays a 3-space extension. And now I think we are at basically we're at today's the move we're gonna learn from the black player. So at this point, there are many moves to play. Once again, you can approach from this side. A lot of players would probably think about this move. I think with AI time, there's so many things have changed that I feel like my series on learning move from pro is so important for you to be updated on what's going on. Because if you approach these days, usually in the old days, white will respond, and there's that's just correct response for white in the old days. But now AI can actually play crazy moves like coming into at S15. When a professional showed me this move, I was like, what? It's just AI crazy stuff. And it is very annoying. It's very hard to respond to this move actually. Not the move we're going to learn, it's not played in the game. So in the actual game, Fan Yin decides to play the second line invasion. Very nice move. If you have watched my video on the game between Shenjin Sale versus Kojie. So in that game, we have something like this, right? So if you haven't checked that video out, go ahead and check it out. The basic idea is for blacks to do something like this to ensure himself a very, very nice amount of territory, as well as creating awkward situation for white over here. And this, the move that Fine Yin played today in our game that we're presenting is kind of similar to that idea, but tactically it's very different. So I'm just gonna quickly go through some of the responses so you can feel very comfortable using this move in your game. White has a few responses. So if white just plays L17, we can comfortably connect our stone second line, and this is a very good situation for black and not really acceptable for white because black gets so much territory in the corner and white has nothing. His box is gone. There's no more territory. Not sure what these 4 stones can do. That would be the incorrect response. Another response is to attach on top. This is actually an okay response. Now black is gonna follow up by Hane, white blocks, and black Ataris, white connects, and now black connect himself back, white Ataris, and then now black will connect that stone. The result of this is white gets a Sente, but black destroyed all the territory on the side. And later on, there's still a leak over here that, basically white needs to fix. He can come in many ways. You still need one more move to seal this line. So this is quite good for black. Definitely the game's still playable for white. White shouldn't be too worried in this position, but I would say black, as black, it's easier for you to manage, especially for us, the amateur players, right? We got good amount of territory over here, and we have a leak towards there, as I have mentioned. So that's really good for us. I think you will feel very comfortable playing in that situation. So that's one of the possible variations. Seems like it's easier to manage for black than white. The other variation is obviously for white to cut black off. And now black will follow up by a jump over here. And when white attaches, white cannot really let black come out this way, because now if black comes out this way, this group immediately will be under attack, and there's a lot to pay for this weak group for white. So pretty much white has to seal black inside. So tactically he can just attach here, and there's really no way for black to come out. It's difficult to come out this way. So black's correct move is to actually jump out like this. Very, very flexible, slippery move. And now, as we can see, black is going towards this direction, and then there's no more moyo for white to make on the side. And moreover, black always has the potential to make use of this weakness that white has over here. So the result of this is probably playable for white, but white seems a bit slow. White might need to fix this, and black can go ahead and play 2 space extension plus the approach. That is just, I think, very comfortable once again. The reason is that black still has this corner, sort of, right? And this is just, once again, I think it's a result that is easier to manage as amateur players. I highly recommend you to go into this situation. So in the old days, white's best response is to attach and then go into the corner. This is a very complex idea. This is a very advanced move, right? Going directly into your corner. And if your opponent plays this move, that means he's very, very good. He's definitely watched a lot of good quality videos, or he's been taught by a professional, or he's just very strong. This is a very tricky move, and this is a very legit move as well. But it turns out that I won't go into the details of exactly all the variations that respond, like the answers this move, but I'll just tell you the AI response to this move is to actually extend on the second line. If you don't quite understand this move, not a problem. You can just play this in your move. It's very simple actually. Now black threatens this move. This cannot be allowed by white, right? White cannot allow himself to be broken into pieces like this. And the reason you would not play this right now is because white can honey and then destroy your corner. So white gets a lot of compensations in the corner for this split. So black does not want to let white have that much compensation, so he blocks the connection first, and white will block this connection, and then black will play another move to fix the corner. And now white needs to basically fix the thing here. So probably by playing a tiger's mouth. And maybe you can Atari once and then Tanuki and do something else. The result of this turns out to be actually pretty good for black, because now this stone of white is actually dead. It's just dead. There's nothing to do in the corner. So black has a really solid corner. And later on, maybe black has some sente over here to drag these two stones back. So that is also a good variation for black as well. At this point, you might be wondering, wow, then that M18 is a really good move. Like it's so good, right? Well, exactly. Well, that's why I made this video to show you an excellent move that you can play in your game. But just for being really vigorous, the correct response is what Ke Jie played. So as white, if you encounter this move, no point in panicking. Ke Jie shows you how to handle this. So, which is really shocking. I mean, it's Tanuki. This shows you how flexible the game of Go has become, especially after AI came out. Ke Jie just Tanukis. Like, what? The second line invasion seems like such an urgent move that you have to respond, but AI just says not really, And Tanuki is such an important idea in the game of Go that you always need to keep in mind, right? A local area makes you uncomfortable, or you don't know what to respond. You can Tanuki. You don't have to fight locally or whatever. As long as your dragon does not die, or it's not a critical move that you have to play, Tanuki should be in your mind. And Ke Jie illustrates that perfectly. And I will just show you how the game goes a little bit further to show you how flexible the game of Go is. Black hops out to threaten the two stones of white. White decides to Tanuki again. White just says, go ahead and capture my two stones. I don't care. And then black says, well, what about your stone at R12? And now white hops into the corner and just make great use of his assume he just, yeah, these stones are sort of dead but sort of not. And then it's just a very slippery game moving forward. And it's very interesting. If you have time, you can check out the entire game later on. But for today's content, the move that I presented to you is the second line invasion in this setting. So when white has a stone at k16, so not at a k17. At k17, you probably should not come to the second line. And you know what to do if that white stone is on the third line. I have showed you the solution to what move to play in my previous videos, so check them out. But today, black second line invasion, excellent move. Really, if your opponent has not watched this video, he will feel really uncomfortable at dealing with this. Just super annoying, super hard to deal with this move if you don't have Tanuki in mind, if you don't have that mindset of playing flexibly, playing globally in mind. So excellent move. Try it out in your game. Let me know how it goes. Comment below the video and tell me how the game goes. Did your opponent Tanuki, or did your opponent actually play the variation I showed you? Yeah, let me know how it goes in your game. It's really cool move, and you can encounter this situation, I believe, very often. This shapes happen so often in your game. So if you liked the video, click on like and subscribe to my channel to get the latest update on new videos. When they come out, you will receive them if you're subscribed. Alright, this is this week's content on learning a move from Pro, and I will talk to you guys next time.